Hi, Greg with leadershipmentor.com. This week I want to share with you my favorite laws of leadership. And this comes from the lessons from the 21 Laws of Leadership book. This is a really good read that John Maxwell put out quite a long time ago. It's been revised a couple of times. But I want to share with you the following 5 laws that are in this book. So the first one is the law of the lid, law of influence, law of connection, law of reproduction, and then finally the law of buy-in. So these are my 5 favorite, I think, in the book. So when we look at the law of the lid basically says that the level of effectiveness of an organization or a team is going to be determined by the level of leadership that exists within it. So in other words, the effectiveness of a group is limited by the capabilities of its leaders. So I think that makes perfect sense. So in the book, John Maxwell talks about the leader's effectiveness, and it's measured on a scale of 1 to 10. So with 10 being the highest level of leadership ability, so this scale represents actually the lid or the potential. So the lower the leader's level of leadership, the lower the lid is on the group's potential. And obviously the converse is true. The higher the leader's level of leadership, the higher the lid on the group's potential. So the law of the lid basically just suggests that if a leader wants to make improvements in the performance of their organization or the team, that they need to first improve their own leadership abilities. And this can be achieved through ongoing learning, self-reflection, and personal growth. By raising the lid on their own leadership ability, a leader can unlock the full potential of the team and achieve greater success. The next one is the law of influence. So the law of influence states that the true measure of a leader's influence is going to be their ability to positively impact and to add value to the lives of others. So in this law, in this chapter, Maxwell talks about influence as not a position or a title, but it's actually the result of a leader's character, competence, and their ability to connect with people. So a leader who consistently demonstrates these qualities will naturally gain influence with their followers, and their ability to influence others is going to increase as their character and competence continues to grow. So the law of influence really highlights the importance of building good relationships and connecting with people in order to be an effective leader. So leaders who are able to influence others in a positive way are far more likely to have a dedicated and loyal following. We did a video a couple weeks ago on influence, and I think that's really important to kind of go back and look at how we develop influence with our team. So the third one that we're going to look at is the law of connection. So the law of connection states that leaders who connect with their followers on a personal level are far more effective than those who don't. Very similar to the one we just talked about, but in this chapter, John Maxwell talks about the fact that people will not follow a leader that they don't actually trust, and that trust is built through personal connections and relationships. So obviously a lot of the theme in this book is going to talk about building relationships and trust. Leaders who take on the time to make their followers understand their needs and communicate them in a way that resonates, they're going to be far more likely to gain the trust and loyalty of their team members. The law of connection highlights the importance of communication in leadership. So effective leaders must be able to communicate their vision, goals, and expectations clearly and consistently, and they must also be willing to listen to feedback and concerns from their followers, and that's really important. He also emphasizes in the book that leaders must be authentic and genuine in their interactions with their followers. Leaders who try to be someone they are not or pretend to care about their followers when they do not will quickly lose the trust and respect of their team. The fourth one we're going to talk about is the law of reproduction. So in the law of reproduction, states basically that effective leaders are able to reproduce themselves by developing and empowering other leaders. So in this chapter, John Maxwell talks about the mark of a truly great leader is not just what they're able to achieve themselves, but how many other great leaders they're able to develop. Effective leaders should not just focus on achieving their own goals, but also on building a culture of leadership development within the organization. So the law of reproduction highlights really the importance of mentorship and leadership development in order to create this environment. Leaders who are able to identify and cultivate potential leaders within their organization are far more likely to create a sustainable legacy and achieve lasting success. And the last one I want to talk about is the law of buy-in. The law of buy-in basically states that people are more likely to commit to and support an idea or vision if they've been given the opportunity to participate in the creation. And this goes back to a lot of the videos that we've done on coaching, and that's really the essence of coaching versus just simply doing feedback, is that it engages the team member in a lot of the process. And so in this chapter, Maxwell talks about leaders who want to gain the support and commitment of their followers must involve them in the decision-making process. And this means communicating the vision and goals clearly, and then seeking input and feedback from the team members and making adjustments based on that input and feedback from the team members. The law of buy-in highlights the importance of collaboration and engagement in effective leadership. So leaders who are able to involve their followers in the decision-making process are going to be far more likely to create a sense of ownership and investment in the organization's goals and vision. So you can see the theme of this book is really about building relationships and trust, building your influence. And so it's a really easy read. I really want to encourage you, if you haven't read it, you can either watch some videos. We have a book summary on our website. That I would really encourage you to buy the book and to read it. I think it gives you a really good foundation of a lot of principles that are really easy to follow and understand. So I want to encourage you to check out our website. We have a free course in there that is Feedback 101. So not only is there course content and learning, but you can post ideas and questions, learn and grow with peers. So I hope you found that helpful. Hope you guys have a great day.